Put Camron on the phone.
And you know.
Put Camron on the phone.
Hang on.
Hold on a second. Hello?
Cam, what's up, baby?
50, what up, baby?
Let me tell you.
No.
Cam, for 1 second.
Wait, Cam, let's hear. Cam, hold up, Cam, because you.
We're not talking about your money, Cam. Listen to this. Check this out. Look. If you got, when you was on Def Jam.
We gotta let each side say.
All right, check this out, Cam.
Let him rock for a second.
A huge portion of your success.
How much Lloyd Banks hold?
Well, Lloyd Banks is at 300,000.
Hey, he's on amazing. Jim is at 300,000.
Right. And that's great for Jimmy, but Jimmy's not, listen up. That's great for Jimmy. Like, every time I talk about balling, you know what, Cam? If you want to do...
Lloyd Banks is at 300,000. Jim Jones is at 300,000.
Yeah.
Jim Jones is on the independent. Lloyd Banks is like,
But Lloyd Banks has more money than Jim Jones. And when you want to talk on that level. The difference between Dipset and the average artist that signs to
Whoa, all right, we gotta shut him off.
I remember this real talk. I was on probation at the time. My probation officer was like, come down to probation or we gonna lock you up on Thursday. I'm like, what the f I did? And New York City Intel was there. And New York City Intel said, what's going on with you and 50 Cent? I said, it's some music shit. What the fuck talking about? They said, well, it just seems like it's one me. I say, yo, he puts people out of business. I gotta respond. I smirked everything I love. I told these. So I'm like, yo, the man puts people out of business. You gotta say something. Then one officer's like, yeah, he does, man. He does. So it's just on me. Y'all gonna talk to him? Like, they like, yeah, his flight is late. We're gonna have a conversation with him too.
Yo, it's 2025. And a few months ago, 50 Cent shook the internet with a wild Instagram post. He dropped a picture of Jim Jones and straight up called him Individual One. Now, not everybody's gonna get what that means right away, but let's break it down real quick. That's 50's sneaky way of calling Jim Jones a snitch. Yup, he even posted a transcript from a federal wiretap straight from the time the feds were going after 6ix9ine and the 9 Trey Bloods. And guess who Individual One is in that transcript? That's right, it's Jim Jones. Here's the part that's got people side-eyeing everything. Almost everyone connected to the 9 Trey Bloods got locked up, but somehow Jim Jones is still walking around like nothing happened. So what 50 is trying to say is this: if Jimmy's not behind bars, then maybe he's been talking to the feds. That's a bold accusation, and it's got the streets buzzing. But don't get it twisted, and 50 didn't randomly start this drama. Nah, this heat started when Jim Jones threw some slick talk about both 50 Cent and Camron during his appearance on the Justin LaBoy podcast. He was talking greasy, and it didn't sit right.
Yo, my they got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them. They like, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off my dirt. There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my shit like that. Like nothing, he could put nothing together. He couldn't do nothing with me. He couldn't tell me nothing. Like, let's not get this twisted. Like, nobody could tell me nothing. I was my own boss. I did what I did as a soldier, because I was a soldier. You heard? I had the soldiers. Didn't tell me nothing. You heard? I did what I wanted to do. I seen it wasn't going right, so I started doing what Jim Jones needed to do for Jim Jones. Because that was supposed to be the Don wasn't taking care of the capo. Started feeling like the Gotti movie, you heard?
But what was the point where you realized I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do? Cause
I mean,
there's
nothing in my memory. Like, yo, that was the last show, but it was just the sequence of the way things was going. And then it came to a point where I had to worry about who Jim Jones was moving forward. Then I was worried about anybody else, because nobody else was worried about me.
Now here's where it gets extra juicy. 50 and Camron?
50, what you did, so we was having interior problems at Dipset. Nobody knew about this. Nobody knew that we was like not on the same page.
Right.
So when me and you were battling during our music thing, you got members of Dipset to come to your show.
Man, Jim Jones right here.
So I'm sitting there like, this is kind of smart, because I wouldn't have thought about reaching out to Yayo or Lloyd Banks. I'm like, niggas going public with this?
Jimmy was not a rapper. He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch and see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Give me that, get me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want him.
They cool now, real cool actually. But ever since Jim's little podcast moment, both of them been going after him with no mercy. They've been tag teaming, throwing shade left and right. What makes this even crazier is that once upon a time, you couldn't even say 50 Cent and Camron in the same breath without causing a firestorm. Back in the day, they were beefing hard, dropping diss tracks, throwing shots, the whole nine. And
you also been in some other, battles and wars, Cam as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I haven't heard about Cam. I don't want to talk about him because he's missing. He's missing, and I don't know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? All I know is I was looking forward to going back and forth with him, mixing it up a little bit. I thought he had a good start. He had a sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? He was using the comedy route instead of, actually being aggressive and going for it. And I was like, ooh, that's something different. And I'm evaluating that for a second. He works for me now. Gave me time for my new album.
Guess what? We about to rewind it all the way back. 18 years ago, in 2007, let's take it there. The beef between 50 Cent and Camron, it kicked off live on the radio and turned into one of the most hilarious feuds hip-hop's ever seen. It all went down on Hot 97 during an interview with Angie Martinez. 50 was talking his usual talk when suddenly, Camron called in. That's right.
He's in the barbershop right now.
Shout out to the barbershop. Shout out to all.
Flex, I know Flex out there listening.
Shout out to all the barbershops in the city.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who text messages too.
That sounds like somebody's on the phone. Who is it, Mons? Who is it?
Cameron and Alan Run Black from Koch Records.
Camron?
What's your relationship with Cam? Do you have one?
We good.
No problem.
Yeah, I ain't had no issues with him.
Monse?
Is he by himself?
We gotta work out this phone situation because it's gonna be a lot of phones today.
Yeah, Jimmy with him?
Your relationship with Dipset is good?
Yeah. Actually,
Can you guys hear me?
Who is that?
Is it Alan Grumblatt? I'm the general manager of Koch Records.
yeah.
Hi, Alan.
Hey, how
What's
you
up,
doing?
Alan?
Hey, Angie, thanks for all your support and everything.
What about me, Alan?
What's that?
What about me?
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing good.
You wanna talk? You wanna be in the air? Like an artist?
Hey, yeah, you know what? Just because I've been just hearing a lot of negativity, and Koch Records, we distribute Diplomat Records, and
Yeah, well, diplomats are cool, but put Cam on the phone.
Diplomat Records, and we pay them.
Put Camron on the phone.
And
Mr. Yee, Killer Season himself jumped on the line.
Hello?
Cam, what's up, baby?
50, what up, baby?
Hey,
You shut down Diplomat Project?
I'm not talking about diplomats. If you got, listen, let me tell you something. Look, if you got, now check this out. Look, initially, a portion of your success.
How much Lloyd Banks sold?
Well, Lloyd Banks is at 300,000.
And he's on Amazing. Jim is at 300,000.
Right. And that's great for Jimmy, but Jimmy's not.
So here's what sparked it. 50 was throwing shade at Coke Records, the label Cam was working with back then. Cam didn't like what he heard, so he dialed in ready to fire back.
Talking about diplomats, is it? Cam, if you really want that?
No, that's what I was asking. Can you do it? That's what I'm
What I'm saying to you is, listen, let me explain something to you. I'm saying to you, I got projects over there. I just signed off. Right. I just let him do that deal.
Exactly. So why would you let him do a deal at Koch, a place that you think is the graveyard?
It is a graveyard.
So why would you let your man?
The only one, you know what it is?
Why would you let your buddy that you mess with?
Because he asked for it. Like, I don't hold people against their will. So, Cam, let me tell you something. Look, let me tell you something about me. Listen.
Wait. Here, let's do this. Wait, Ken.
I don't know what everybody else did. I'm sitting there.
No. Listen, let me tell you something.
I was flipping on Koch. Let me explain something to you about Koch Records. They made 600. They signed they sold their company for $80 million to a company called Row Entertainment.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
I'm letting the world know.
They just sold portions of your
They sold the company for $80 million. Last year, Row Entertainment made $600 million, according to the Canadian Wall Street Journal. Koch put a deal on the table for me for $7 million. I said, what are you talking about? That's not 1% of $600 million. So currently, when I was on my rampage talking about Koch owe me cake, yeah, they just made close to $1 billion in the last 2 years, and I'm not.
But instead of a civil convo, it turned into full-on chaos. Cam kept yelling over the phone, wouldn't let 50 speak, and was more focused on roasting him than having any real discussion. You could hear it in 50's tone, and he wasn't feeling that disrespect at all. 50 had been saying on air that Coke Records was basically where washed-up rappers ended up. He called it the graveyard of the music biz, a label where artists go when the big dogs don't want to sign them anymore.
A huge portion of your success.
How much Lloyd Banks sold?
Well, Lloyd Banks is at 300,000.
And he's on Amazing. Jim is at 300,000.
Right. And that's great for Jimmy, but Jimmy's not, listen up, that's great for Jimmy. Like, every time I talk about balling, you know what, Cam? If you want to do...
Lloyd Banks is at 300,000. Jim Jones is at 300,000.
Yeah.
Jim Jones is on an independent.
Yeah.
Lloyd Banks is on yelling.
But Lloyd Banks has more money than Jim Jones, and when you want to talk on that level. See, you get ready to turn into something else. Check this out.
What is you talking about? Then you like Prodigy? Come over here.
Yeah, I let him do a deal over there, because he asked to do the deal over there, and I said, you know what? You can go if you want to do that.
How much Mobb Deep sold this year?
All right, y'all gotta...
Curtis. Yo, Curtis, how much did Mobb Deep sell this year?
You're not going to be, you can ready to cause a whole different situation. Watch this.
Curtis, how much
Let's not make it a different situation.
He thinks that it's good. He thinks that it's good to go in the competition. I'm not going to stop competing.
How much did the mom sell, Curtis?
Let me tell you something. The difference between Dipset and the average artist that signs to
How much did fucking
Whoa, all right, we gotta shut him
How
off.
much the mom and how much Lloyd Banks sold?
Monse.
Doing the same numbers you
Monse, we gotta cut it, honey.
the difference
Cam, I'm
between
sorry, baby. I want to be fair, but to everybody.
He described it like the B League, or worse, a retirement home for rappers whose careers had cooled off. But Cam wasn't having it. He stood his ground and said Coke was actually a smart move, claiming they gave rappers better deals and more freedom than major labels. To him, it wasn't a downgrade. It was a power move. Thing is, 50 and Cam had been on good terms before all this. But once that phone call aired, it was game over. That friendly bond got torched quick. So what did 50 do next? He hit the studio and dropped a brutal diss track titled Funeral Music. And man, he didn't hold back. 50 went straight for the jugular. The bars were sharp, the delivery was cold, and he made it clear. This wasn't just play fighting, this was war. This track right here, Funeral Music. Man, it don't get nearly the love it deserves. It's one of the most slept on diss tracks in hip hop history, packed with insane replay value. 50 didn't just throw jabs, he buried Camron on that joint. And to make it even crazier, he followed it up with a music video that doubled as a straight up warning shot. But 50 wasn't done. He went full savage mode after that track dropped. What he did next felt like something out of a gangster flick or cartel movie. So picture this, 2 massive bodyguards dressed sharp in black suits pull up to Camron's office like they're on a secret mission. What do they deliver? 2 black roses and a mini coffin. Yeah, a coffin. That's not just petty, that's symbolic warfare. The black roses, they represent death. The coffin, that's the funeral. And guess what the song was called? Funeral Music. 50 even had a hearse in the video, with the message being loud and clear. Cam's rap career was dead. But let's be real, Camron ain't the type to back down. He's been battle tested, and for those who don't know, Cam can spit for real. He clapped back with a diss track of his own called Curtis, hitting 50, right where it stings by using his real name. Back then, rap beefs weren't all about tweets and memes. This was straight warfare in the booth, and Camron brought comedy into the mix before it was trendy. You'd hear him yelling Curtis over and over in the track. It was wild and had folks cracking up, but Cam wasn't done yet. He dropped part 2 of the diss, but this time it was more like a full-on skit. Yeah, he flipped the script and used humor as his weapon. He took a page straight out of 50's own playbook and made a parody that was both disrespectful and genius. In the video, he had 50 Cent sitting in a courtroom, flipping the whole beef into a comedy sketch. Cam turned the heat into jokes, and it worked. Camron was out here calling 50 a snitch, saying he was ratting on his own crew. But wait, we ain't even hit the wildest part yet. After dropping that fiery diss and savage video, folks were wondering how 50 was gonna keep up the pressure. But then, boom, Camron vanished. No more songs, no shows, no responses, nothing. Dude went completely ghost. That silence had people talking heavy, was like, does every rapper that beefs with 50 just disappear? And you already know 50 had a field day with it. He started clowning Cam for going missing, poking fun at him in interviews, acting like he won by knockout.
You also been in some other, battles and wars and Cam as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I haven't heard about Cam. I don't want to talk about him because he's missing. He's missing, and I don't know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? All I know is I was looking forward to going back and forth with him, mixing it up a little bit. I thought he had a good start. He had a sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? He was using the comedy route instead of, actually being aggressive and going for it. And I was like, ooh, that's something different. And I'm evaluating that for a second. He works for me now. Gave me time for my new album. He's in the creative department.
Why do you think that
Then 50 dropped a bomb during one interview. He said Camron was actually the one who gave him the idea for naming his album Curtis. Imagine that, your enemy helping name your project. Wild. Eventually, Cam popped back up in a video explaining why he'd gone radio silent. Turns out he was out in Florida and said he stayed quiet because he was on probation. Legal troubles had him laying low, but Cam tried to hype things up again, telling fans he'd be back and ready to take over in the summer.
May 17th. I just got a two-way talking about Curtis is talking about I won't come outside. I'm in my motherfucking vacation home because it's going to be a real motherfucking hot summer, man. For everybody. And probation is officially over. Oh yeah, last week. Officially. And all that shit going on, I'm not going to jail for none of y'all. Shoulda sizzled down or whatever. But Curtis, you wanna get involved? You ain't left alone, brother. You're not left alone. Holla at me. I'm right here. Killer, May 17th. I just got it. Yeah, you see the palm trees? I'm on vacation and I'll be off. June 1st. Curtis. Get my pool in the back.
Only problem? Summer came, and Cam was still MIA. No music, no comebacks, just silence. Meanwhile, 50 wasn't letting up. He hit everyone with another move no one saw coming. On September 13th, 2017, during a show at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York, 50 brought out Dipset members Jules Santana and Jim Jones on stage with him. That's right, Cam's own people performed at 50's concert.
Hold up. Somebody's here. Hold on. What the f*** is that? Put your motherfucking hands up. Where my man at? Where my man at? Well, me and your girl said it's stay focused.
That night, that moment, it was a massive flex and a message. And see, people really don't get how wild this move was. Imagine beefing with someone and then bringing two major members of his own crew on stage with you to perform. That's not just petty. That's calculated warfare, straight up evil genius vibes, and of course 50 Cent, yeah, he's a master at this. Man knows the art of war better than anybody in the game, but hold up, he wasn't even done stirring the pot. 50 went one step further and tried to sign Jim Jones. Yup, he really did that. And when he said, "It's your man Jim Jones right here," he was sending that message directly to Camron, loud and clear.
And I'm back. It's your boy 50 Cent bringing you more Rap City. It's going down right here. I know this is your favorite show right now because I'm on it. And I told y'all earlier I was going to bring somebody new in the G Unit. I might have a new signing. I might not. You see, I got the whole G Unit here. We're going to get it going. You got back here. Ah! Oh, man. Hey, what you know? What you know?
What's
It's your man Jim Jones right here. Brought you the biggest record.
Fast forward to 2025, why and surprisingly 50 and Cam, they're cool now, for real. Camron even confirmed it himself. Once 50 hit the stage with Jules and Jim Jones back in the day, the beef pretty much cooled off. No more shots, no more diss tracks like they left it in the past. But here's the twist, and that whole move, it basically shattered Dipset. I mean, how you gonna stay in a group with people you feel like snaked you?
A legend for the younger audience, we had like a rap battle thing at one time. And 50, what you did, so we was having interior problems at Dipset. Nobody knew about this. Nobody knew that we was like not on the same page.
Right.
So when me and you were battling during our music thing, you got members of Dipset to come to your show. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there like,
yeah, that was
it's just kind of smoke. Cause I wouldn't have thought about reaching out to Yayo or Lloyd Banks. I'm like, public with this?
I'm like, yo.
What was your thought process behind saying, yo, you know what? The songs. How did this work? How'd it go?
I was there. I'm in your horse and carriage video.
Cam felt backstabbed, and after that, he wasn't rocking with them no more. Dipset, as we knew it, done. Now in 2025, 50 Cent and Camron are tight again. They even kicked it on Cam's podcast, chopping it up like old friends.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking at him going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. That's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at it, and it was finally he had one. And I just looked, and I know I just took the shot murder to see, because I was sure he was gonna go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch and see how he was talking. You see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Give me this, give me Jimmy.
I remember this real talk. I was on probation at the time. My probation officer was like, come down to probation or we're gonna lock you up on Thursday. I'm like, what the fuck I did? And New York City Intel was there. And New York City Intel said, what's going on with you and 50 Cent? I said, it's some music. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? They said, well, it just seems like it's one. I said, yo, he puts people out of business. I gotta respond. I swear to everything I love. I told you this. I'm like, yo, the man puts people out of business. You gotta say something. Then one officer was like, yeah, he does, man.
But Jim Jones, he's not sitting on that same side anymore. After he made some slick comments on the Justin LeBoy interview, he jumped into a freestyle and dissed both Cam and 50. Camron clapped back quick, didn't hold back at all. He went straight for Jim's neck and even called him a fan.
It's a couple of things, because we've been on vacation, and he's been talking since I was on vacation. We're gonna start with Jomo. We'll start with Jomo. And you're a guardian angel and designer. What the f is you talking about, man? You are from the Bronx, bro. You was a fan, nigga. You begged us. You are a fan, nigga. A fan. We didn't grow up with you. I am from 140th and Lenox. I am from NFL. Up the block was 40 Wolves. Lou Simpson's on 142nd Cross Square. D. Ferg on number 8th Avenue. I don't see you.
The tension? Oh, it's heating up again. But it didn't stop there. Nah, things just kept getting messier. After Camron called Jim Jones a fan, social media lit up like wildfire. Everybody had something to say. Fans, blogs, even old school rappers were chiming in. And Jim, he wasn't taking that disrespect lightly. He hopped back in the booth and started throwing subliminals, throwing shade without naming names, but everybody knew who he was talking about. Then out of nowhere, Cam went live, and it was spicy. He started breaking down his whole side of the story, talking about loyalty, betrayal, and how Jim been moving funny for years. He said straight up, you can't claim Dipset if you standing next to someone who tried to end it. And that hit hard. Meanwhile, 50 was sitting back watching it all go down, throwing in lil jabs on Instagram like he always does. He posted a pic of himself smirking with the caption, "Told y'all, snakes in the grass always get exposed." Fans were eating it up. People started digging up old interviews, old footage, even old DMs, trying to figure out when the loyalty broke. And what made it even crazier? Rumors started swirling that 50 might be working on a new project, and guess who folks are saying might show up on it? Camron. That's right. The same guy who used to diss him is now possibly linking up with him on Wax in 2025. Streets are saying the two been cooking up something behind the scenes. Now Jim's out here looking like the odd man out. Caught in the middle of history, loyalty, and hip-hop politics, this ain't just old beef. This is a whole soap opera playing out in real time. And if what's coming is anything like what we've seen so far, it's only gonna get wilder. Now here's where things take another crazy turn. Jim Jones didn't just stay quiet. He went full defense mode and started throwing shots back at both Cam and 50, but this time it wasn't just music, no, it was personal. He started doing interviews, going on podcasts, and talking spicy about Dipset's past, airing out old stories, behind the scenes drama, and shady deals. He even hinted that Cam wasn't always the boss he claimed to be, and saying, "A lot of moves were made behind my back. I ain't never needed nobody, I held my own." And that line alone, yeah, it got people talking. Camron, of course, couldn't let that slide. He fired back on social media with an old clip of Jim Jones crying on Hot 97 years ago. The caption, "History don't lie." That post alone got over 1 million views in one day, with fans taking sides and throwing memes all over the timeline. But here's the real kicker. Insiders started claiming that a Dipset documentary was in the works, and it might expose everything. From deals gone wrong, to the G-Unit crossover, to the final blow-up that split the crew. People are saying this doc is gonna have never-before-seen footage, unheard audio, and interviews that'll shake the game up. And guess who's reportedly backing the whole thing? 50 Cent himself. Yeah, Mr. Executive Producer might be putting money behind a documentary about the crew he once helped break apart. Talk about full circle chaos. Fans are watching closely, waiting to see what drops first. The documentary, the rumored collab between Cam and 50, or another diss track from Jim. This ain't just beef anymore, it's legacy on the line. One thing's for sure, in 2025, the Dipset drama is far from over. And the next chapter, it's coming real soon. So there you have it. From radio blowups to savage diss tracks, secret deals and betrayals that shook hip-hop to the core. This whole saga between 50 Cent, Camron, and Jim Jones is legendary. What started as a beef turned into a war, then into a reunion, and now it's a full-blown soap opera still unfolding in real time. It's wild how the same people that were once ride or die are now throwing shade, dodging questions, and making moves behind each other's backs. The loyalty, shaky. The respect, gone. But the drama, oh, it's still going strong. And you already know we're going to keep bringing you every twist and turn. So tell me what you think. Who was right? Who was wrong? And is there even a way back from all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any of the heat we got coming. And yo, don't dip just yet. Click on that next video popping up on your screen. If you're into wild celeb drama, sneak disses, secret scandals, and beef that never gets old, you do not want to miss it. Trust me, it's another one that'll have your jaw on the floor. Stay locked in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Be safe out there and stay sharp.